Yep. I think the gate was a great addition.
Love the gate.
It's a great idea.
It's heavy. The
It
one that we
is. It
got,
is very heavy,
but
but it is a great addition to the gate.
and I also figured that because they couldn't figure out how to completely compress and fold,
Hmm.
then I'll just take that part off, fold it around in transit whenever we traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just make it two pieces.
There you go. I knew you'd figure it out. That fire is so nice. It sets the tone, the ambiance of the evening. So, you guys, I'm trying to give everybody a few more minutes to come on into the live. I'm not going to be on very long because I have a Bible study I'm going to teach at 8:30 my time, and it's almost 7. So, um, so tonight we're just relaxing. We have a campfire. We've had such a busy week, and I know you guys have enjoyed the videos where we are like come with me a day in the life type thing, and so that's hard work. So now we're getting ready to just kind of relax for the evening, and we wanted to kind of just go live and invite you guys in to end the weekend, start the weekend, but end the week with us. And so Cedric has made us this beautiful fire. Let me show you. So you got the beautiful fire and the puppy dogs, Pepper's sitting in Daddy's chair, and Noodle is right here, curled up next to the fire. And as you guys can see,
Normally, I would be there, but Pepper is very comfortable,
she
so
took his spot.
I will allow it this time.
And then, as you guys can see from the reel, we got this gate from off of Marketplace, and it was like a little or nothing. We paid almost nothing for it, and it has been such a great addition to our setup. So now the dogs have like their own personal dog park because y'all know that Pepper Girl does not play well with others. So tonight is kind of like this wind down for us, and we're just enjoying the beautiful sunset. Let me show you guys. So we have the fire here, we have the fire right there, and then we have this beautiful sunset. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And it was just kind of winding down. You got Pepper Girl over here relaxing, and like I said, our new gate that we got from Facebook Marketplace, which is a wonderful addition to what we got going on here. So the dogs have like their own place to relax and come. And thank you. And so it's one of those things where it's just calming, and everybody's kind of out at their site and hanging out and enjoying each other. And so me and baby, we are decided we were just going to have a nice little campfire. And like I said, I won't be on here long because we're going to spend some time together. I just kind of wanted to come on and bring you guys into our space. And I also want to thank you so much for the overwhelming response to my day in the life videos. It seems like everybody seemed to like those, so we're going to be trying to produce more of those. I have to kind of really think about it and plan the day so I have some good content to show you guys. But I am so grateful that you guys like those, so I'll be doing some more of those. But it's Sabbath, which is our day of rest, and we have slowed down. Our week is over. And so we just wanted to say that we are so happy that you guys came and you join us. Look at Pepper. She's about to go to sleep over there. This is she is enjoying herself to the fullest. And then we have the fire. And, I just want to tell Babe, thank you so much for making this such a warm and cozy place to be and home. He really does take care of the outside, whether it's cleaning it up and putting the chairs up and the tent. I mean, if you guys ever RV'd or camp, everybody has like their little roles, right? Things that they do. So my role is inside. I go in, I clean up, I'm dishes, I'm getting things ready, putting the stuff out, making the bed. But his role is important too because he makes sure that the camper is secure in its space. And then he does the decorative part of outside. So he puts the tent up, he put the rugs out. When we are staying put for the summer, we usually go buy some ferns and get some plants and set those out. And we make this place our own, right? And so it is really, really cool. And I just really appreciate him, putting together a little space for us to come and relax. So, you guys, there's 13 of you in here. It should be 13 thumbs up. So, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We love to have you guys going with us on our journey. We are leaving where we are currently on Friday morning. We'll be pulling out, heading to our next location. We want to take you guys with us, and you can check out some of our day in the life videos. So I really appreciate that. And also, we are looking to get one of those boneless couches for our camper, trying to jazz it up a little bit. So stay tuned because I've been on the hunt for that. Facebook Marketplace has really been proven to be an asset lately, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys subscribe, thumbs up, subscribe, be a part of the journey, be a part of what we got going on here. And we're going to take you guys soon. We're going to be headed to somewhere for work camping. I don't know where, but we'll be doing that, and we'll be taking you guys and gearing up for the summer, which is going to be so exciting. So if you have any RV questions, go ahead, shoot, answer them, ask them. I'll answer them. But meanwhile, we got this beautiful ambiance of the fire. And so I just kind of want to show it to you guys so you can just spend the evening with us. And I hope you enjoy, like, and share. Neighbor's dog. Pepper's being so good. Usually she's barking back, but she's not this time. So I'm so proud of her. So, you guys, I hope you had a wonderful week. And let me know if you all have seen our How It All Began video. I would love to know what you think about that. So let me know. Oh my goodness. No, unfortunately, I am not like Mr. Beast. Don't have his numbers. But maybe one day, who knows? Hello to you all. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Oh my goodness, it is such a nice night. It is perfect for a fire. It really is. It's not too cold. I mean, like, it's not cold, but it's not too hot to where the fire is like unnecessary. So it's really nice.
It's not smoky.
Yes, and I think that's one of the good things about the propane fire pits. You don't have to worry about the smoke, and you don't go inside smelling like wood, like a smoky fire.
I like the sound of the crackling wood
I do too.
and the smoky.
How do you guys feel? Do you like the sound of the crackling wood? You do miss that with the rocks fire pit. We got to get some more rocks for the fire pit. I got to figure out where you go get more of those from because as you travel, you lose rocks apparently. But yeah, we got to get some more of those. But he was saying that he does miss the noise from the fire, and I do too. He can make a heck of a fire. Guys, let me tell you a funny story. The very first time we took our camper like camping, and we had just got everything all set up, and we were getting ready to try to start a fire. You remember this, honey? And we could not get that fire to start for nothing. We tried and tried and tried, and he was like, well, "Let's just try it in the daytime," because we was trying at night, and it just was not working at all. It was like for some reason, we just could not get that fire to kindle. And he kept at it. He kept at it the next day, and ever since then, he's been a fire master. Um, when we were in Ely, Nevada, people used to be like, "Oh my goodness, you make the best fires," and he does, and it lasts forever. Hello. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sabbath afternoon, and I hope that your week was amazing. And we're happy to have you, and thank you for the thumbs up and the subscribe. So, so yeah. So now we've moved to the fire pit, which I like. And I'm gonna tell you why I like it. Because where we are now, I have not seen a fire pit. We didn't have a fire pit here.
I haven't really seen anybody make a fire, even if it's propane too. I haven't really saw anybody with a propane fire pit. I'm sure they're out here, but you know,
Yeah, the even where we are now at this Thousand Trails, there is no fire pits. I haven't seen one. And like in the site, usually there's like a barrel with a fire pit, but I haven't seen one. My day was awesome. Thank you. We had a great day. So I appreciate you asking. But yeah, so and then like the state parks here, they're on a fire ban. So they don't allow you to have a wood fire anyway. So the propane fires are the only ones you can have. Now, the one thing about camping in the city is the city noise and how close your neighbors are. I prefer like like what do you well how would you classify that, honey? Not like a campground, but more like when it's more woodsy and more space, like how we were over at
like a journey.
no, like how we were at the last campground.
It's more secluded. Like the sites were not like viewable from
Yeah.
each other next door.
It was more forestry. You had like your own space with your own yard and the whole nine. I did a video on that. It was what was the last campground review? It was Lithia Springs. We were at Lithia Springs Conservation Park, and they have campground in there, and they really good for the price too. It's like $24 a day, and you get water and electric. But you also get like your own yard, like your own pull-in space. It's perfect. It's like a perfect big space, right? And so here it's more like everybody's kind of living, so they don't have a whole lot of space. It's not a whole lot of upkeep, and there's no fire pits. So it's really nice to have the gas fire pit because you can use that to still set the ambiance. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And make sure you subscribe so you can go on the journey with us. We'd love to have you be a part of our journey. So, but yeah, this week was extremely busy. We did a lot of Instacart. We're trying to get our coins together so we can start heading out of Florida. So I think the next Thousand Trails will be moving closer and closer out, north until we know exactly what we're gonna do. And so that's the plan right there. Pepper? No. No, honey. No, no, no. But other than that, we're just chilling. And so I'm gonna put you where you can see it too.
Noodle like to rock that movie.
Huh?
Noodle like to ride the hose.
I bet he does. Is that what's beeping out there?
Yes.
You got it plugged up?
No, it's on. It just lets you know when it's going too fast or when
Oh,
you're about to
somebody else is
fall
on
off.
a hoverboard.
No, it's mine. It's just that's the sound that it makes.
Oh,
You'd rather have the sound than no sound.
then the abrupt stop sound of you flying through the air.
Or abrupt fall. That's what it is.
I see you just kind of stepping over it.
Tell everybody hi.
Cedric says, hello, everybody. Oh, he wants me to shout out his channel, but you can only get that when you're on screen. He's out on his hoverboard. Doo doo. Sometimes it's just nice to sit quietly. Have you ever had that where you just sit quietly and just kind of enjoy the evening, especially when you've been overstimulated with so much noise and hustle and bustle and moving. It's just really nice to be still, right? And just be quiet. And so that's where I'm at today. I've had a high stress couple weeks. And so I guess my husband knew I needed some time, so he created this little oasis for us to come and relax tonight and just kind of be together. So I'm gonna get me a cup of coffee and chill out and just relax. And so I hope your week ended well. I love to hear little kids at the campground when they're talking and enjoying themselves. It is cozy. Look, Diamond, we got a nice little fire going. And then the dogs, remember, they have their little gate, so they have their own little yard area. And this evening, we just relaxing, just kind of relaxing. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. I did a video on how we got started RVing, like what was the kickoff for us, and was traveling like new to us. And when we started RVing, was that like the beginning of our travels? And so I like to answer questions because sometimes people have questions like, how did you get started? How did you get your first camper? How do you find campgrounds? Stuff like that. Come on, Noodle. How do you find campgrounds? What stuff do we have? Like, ask questions. Come on. Come on, Noodle. Sit down. The dog, he want to be close. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. My kids and I started a Friday night, like, family Zoom type Bible study. And so I look forward to that because I get a chance to spend some time with them and kind of talk with them and hear about their week and, do stuff like that. And so we do it every Friday at 8:30 Eastern time. And so I'm looking forward to that because I get a chance to see them on the Zoom call. So this I'm saying that to say that this live won't be long, but I'm here now and I'm willing to answer whatever questions you guys may have, or if you'd like to talk, tell me about your week. It live is a lot of fun when it's like a dialogue, like when you're kind of talking back and forth. And so just let me know if you have any questions. All right, let's see. Oh, Shirley, the truck. Mm, it's been a thorn in our side. We've been trying to get things taken care of with it, but it's just costing us more than what we have. And we had two like job offers with work camping, but we weren't able to take them. They were like one in Oregon and one in Nevada because it was just too far. And Cedric was like honestly feeling like the truck wasn't gonna make it all the way there. Oh my goodness! Trying to get these little buggies from attacking my baby. These little flying around bugs. So we got a lot of work that needs to be done on the truck. It's almost at 300,000 miles, so I know it's time for us to get a new one. And I think that's a lot of the problem with it, but no, not yet. We just been making do with what we have and trying to keep working and keep going, and just staying positive because that's just what you do, right? So thank you for asking. Hey, Pepper. No, no, baby girl. All right, Diamond, you said what even got you two thinking about taking your life on the road for the first time? Hey, no, no. And that's probably daddy, so stop fussing. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me read that one more time, Diamond. It says, what even got you to thinking about taking your life on the road for the first time? Okay, well, Um, in the video I did of how our traveling went to RV life, Pepper, no, it we always loved to travel, right? And then my husband was more he came from a background that was a lot more stable, right? They didn't move. Their family, like aunt lives around here, uncle lives over here, grandma lives up the street. My mom, her family, my uncle was in the military, so we hardly ever seen him. My grandmother, she died in New York as a young person, and she had a very small family, so we moved a lot, you know. So I really didn't care too much for that, you know. I wasn't missing stability, right? You know, so once the kids were grown and we were done raising them and they graduated from high school and all that good stuff, then it was like, you know what? Let's do something different. You know, let's kind of switch it up. You know, we didn't need the space we had. We had this, you know, apartment, you know, all this space, and it was just the two of us now, and we had just decided that. Well, I decided I was like, I need a change, and I tried not to wear people out with my mental health journey, but I got to a point at work where I loved my job, but I just couldn't do it anymore, right? I was just really struggling mentally, and I have always had depression. I've always had like depression where it just never went away, just a cloud of sadness all the time. And then I started having like these really bad panic attacks. And right around 2020, I had a lot of family members pass away. And you just start thinking about life. You start thinking about, what am I doing? What fulfills me? What are my goals? And I had just, you know, graduated from college. I got my degree, you know, and like, because I went back to school after my kids were just about done with high school. And I was talking to Cedric, and I was like, let's do something different. We don't have to live traditionally. We don't have to have this big old house and, you know, and all 2 or 3 car payments. And let's do something different. You know, let's. And he at first he was, whoa, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You know, and you want to sell everything? And I was like, yeah. So he was like, well, let's go to the RV show. So we went to the RV show. We started looking around and we started dreaming. That was the first step. We just started dreaming. We started looking at RVs and kind of seeing what life with an RV looks like. Like, what could it look like? And what it had to offer. Because I think that's the misconception. Everybody thinks that the RV is like a glorified tent, right? Because even when I was at my sister's, yeah, health is important. Even when I was at my sister's, you know, it was winter. She was, are you guys cold out there? And I'm like, no, we're not in a nylon tent. You know, we got propane, we got heat, we got AC. You know, we got a fridge. We have what we need, right? So you go and you walk through and you realize that it has everything that you would need in a traditional home. You can get one with a washer and dryer if you want. You got a kitchen, you got a fridge, you got heat, you got air, you have a bathroom, right? You have a sitting area depending on what layout you pick. Some of these layouts you can get a kitchen with an island, a dining room table, a living room set, a bathroom, you know, that is very nice, wardrobe, the whole nine, just depending on what your budget is and, you know, what you're looking for. And a lot of people want to go straight from their 2,000 square feet house to a 2,000 square feet, you know, camper. They want the big because they don't want to get rid of anything. But I started selling stuff and I realized that I was okay with transitioning to something else, right? I've always loved to travel. I've always loved to go. I am very spontaneous, right? I am the one that wakes up in the morning and I'm like sick of being here. Let's move and go on to the next space. Where my husband is more like planning it out. He's more like, okay, so where are we gonna go? Do they have a space? Are we going to a campground? Do you let me think if we can even make it that far? You know, because we definitely do need another truck. The suspension on our truck is gone, and with me not working and being out from surgery, we are behind in it. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that I don't come to the camera and tell you guys about. And so when we made this decision, it was a no-brainer for me. I was ready to do something different. I enjoyed my job. I loved what I did. I worked for the VA. I just enjoyed it so much. But I knew that I needed to do something different. I knew I wanted to do something different. I knew I didn't have to live the norm, that I did have options. And we just decided that we were going to take a year and we were going to do it. And if we liked it, then we, you know, bam, we got a year experience. But if we didn't like it, we could always sell it and then, move on to something else, do something else. That there wasn't like a long-term commitment that we locked ourselves in, that we had to do it or else, right? So once we made that decision and we started packing up and getting ready to go, one morning I woke up and said, okay, we're leaving Sunday. And the only plan we had was we're going to head west. And I got us our first set of work camping jobs at a campground, because after a while you got to drop roots somewhere. Like you got to try to, if you don't have like a monthly pension coming in or disability or something, eventually your savings and all the money you have, it starts to get low, because you're paying for campgrounds, you're paying for propane, you're paying for gas, you're doing stuff. So, so you gotta start thinking, okay, now what am I gonna do for work? The romance of it is happened, so now we gotta finance this dream. And so we got our first work camping job out in Nevada. So we started heading towards that. And that is, I can tell you, when we hit Nevada, it was a job that was low stress. And I love people. So I got a chance to meet people from all walks of life, right? Um, People headed on their adventures, people coming from an adventure, people who live this lifestyle and been doing it for 20, 30 years, RVing and traveling and stuff. And I can tell you, it was the very first time that I actually relaxed. Like, taking a vacation with the kids, that's high stress, because you got to make sure you know where you're going, you got to know what you're doing, you got to know what everybody's eating, everybody's clothes. You got to cram a lot of stuff in a little bit of time, because you got to get back to work, they got to get back to school, or whatever the situation may be. And so you need rest from the vacation. This was the first time that I went to work and I didn't have to answer to the chief. I didn't have people, beating down my door complaining. It was a job that I could come in, that I could do, and that I could leave there. I didn't have a work cell phone that tied me to work and a laptop that tied me to work. I didn't come home and still worked and got on my computer, because I got to answer reports and stuff like that. And I was able to just relax. It's where I learned I didn't need TV. Like, now, I mean, before it was like you move into a place and you want to know when is the cable guy coming, because you need the TV working, you need the Wi-Fi working, you need all the luxuries that you believe you need, right? And to a certain extent, you do need those things, right? And so you, I got out there and I realized just how much I didn't watch TV. Like, I was more excited about Cedric and I. We'd pack up and we'd go find these little places to explore and things to do, and it was really cool. And we started spending more and more time outside, and then we started going on hikes and long walks, and we started exploring at different campgrounds. Right? I wish I was more into our my YouTube channel. Um, Back then, that I could have showed you guys some of the stuff that I was finding. Um, but I wasn't then. I mean, I was filming, but I wasn't filming like everything we were doing. We found some of the coolest campgrounds that you can boondock at, and it was like free spaces, and some of them was like $10 a night. And we kept saying, "Oh, we'd love to stay here. Oh, we got to come back and stay here. Ooh, we'd like to go back and stay at Great Basin National Park, because there's like this stream that rolls through the center of the campground." And it was like we started exploring all of these new things, and it was really a period in my life where I learned how to relax. Like, I didn't feel so keyed up that I didn't know how to relax. And I wasn't just living for the weekend, right? I wasn't just living to have those 2 days off that really weren't rest, because I had to cram in all my housework on one day and get ready for work and church on one day, and that was an all day thing. And it was like, it was where I really learned it's okay to slow down, it's okay to stop. I don't need the TV. I don't need the computer. All those things, you have them just in case. Every now and then you get bored and you want to go inside and relax and lay down and watch a movie or watch TV. But I really learned how to slow down. And I haven't looked back. I absolutely enjoy my RV journey. Now, I wish we could travel more than we do, because that's the drawback of RV life. You need gas. The predominant part of your life is gas money. You can go anywhere you want, right? So you have to keep up with that part. And I would like to travel way more than we do. But Pepper, it's just daddy. It's just daddy. Hey, it's just your dad. Hey, you're gonna go inside if you don't stop it. That's enough. Sorry about that, you guys. My baby girl gets so riled up when she can't see, especially at night. And we're in the tent, and she can't see who's out there in the street. She had to send off those little warning shots. But it's one of those things that you have to be looking. I was looking for something, but I was also running from something. And that's what my new blog post is about. So if you guys don't mind going over to my Patreon page and checking out my new blog post. Um, One other thing I wanted to kind of bring to you, of you asking that question, Diamond. Hey, Pepper, hush. One of the things I wanted to bring to you, because you asked the question, what made me want to transition our lives to on the road? I love family, but being around them was very stressful for me, because I'm a problem solver, and people were leaning on me a lot harder than I needed, than I was able to handle. And you start feeling like you have to solve all these people's problems, and you'll be surprised how many things people get done without you when you're not around. It was like the further we were, the little things that they would have worried us to death about, they didn't, because they feel like you're too far away to do anything about it. Now, the serious stuff, of course, you want to know about that. Somebody's sick, somebody's, died, something's horribly wrong, an accident, you want to know that stuff. But some of that stuff, you're like, you know what? I am just going to let that go, right? I'm just going to, I'm not there, so there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm not gonna let that upset me. And so the further away we were, the less it was where people were just contacting you all the time, wanting you to solve things for them. And a lot of times it's your family, and you can't tell them no. You feel like you can't tell them no, right? You you feel like you want to help, and not all the time can you help, right? So you don't have those proper boundaries, and you let their emergencies become your emergencies. But I they had to learn what a true emergency was to tell me, and not just they spent all their money and now they need help with gas and food, and their light bills due, but they got on brand new kicks, that kind of stuff, right? And so it was really nice, and it was just so many benefits to it than wasn't. And so here we are 5 years later, still full-time RVing. And some days I think, should I give this up? Should I just go back? And because you hear people get in your ear, especially when you start to kind of suffer a little bit, or you're struggling a little bit. And let me tell you, you could struggle in a 3,000 bedroom house, right? Struggle is everywhere. It hits everybody. Nobody's immune to it, no matter where you live or how you live. And so you might start to struggle, and the first thing people want to say is maybe it's time for you to give that up. Maybe it's time for you to move on to something else and get a job. Or have you guys thought about getting a house? And it's like, well, I don't want to go back to paying somebody rent or a mortgage, to stay there, adding stress to my plate when I own my house. And so you deal with a lot of outside voices that don't really understand. But that's when you just can't tell everybody everything. You just can't. I mean, because their dream, your dream is not their dream, and they may not even understand it. So I hope I answered your question. Yes. Well, I I remember when our kids were home and we were homeschool family. We used to go to RV shows all the time, and we used to dream about getting on the road with the kids. We just wanted them. I mean, because we traveled anyway, um, and so it would have been like the ultimate homeschool lesson for them, to kind of just have that experience. And we really wanted to be able to do that for them and take them on the road and show them different things. But it didn't happen for us then. And we were a family of six, right? We had four boys and then me and my husband. And we were looking for some kind of financial freedom. We wanted to take the kids and be able to teach them and give them an experience, and the space we needed, we couldn't afford it, not at the time. And I think we learned about RV life a little late in the game, right? But now our boys love to travel. Now they come out to where we are more than ever. And so, like so I always say, we've been wanting to upgrade our camper to something a little bit bigger, so when they do come out, they don't have to stay in Airbnbs or hotels. They can stay with us, and we'd have space for them and for whoever wants to come and visit or spend some time. We'd have a little room for them to come, because right now it's big enough for me and Cedric, and that's it. And so I don't even have a space like for my computer or anything. So it'll just be nice to be able to go from having like this efficiency to like a 1 bedroom house on wheels. So I hope that, kind of give you a little bit of an insight into why we chose to transition. It wasn't a hard thought. It was more like, okay, how can we make this happen? And then continue it, right? To kind of prolong it. And we just decided to do it. And when you get into it, the stereotype that is just meant for one group of people, that's hogwash. Because once you get out there, you see that there are many groups of people who are camping, who are RVing, who are van life, who are sleeping in cars and jeeps, and who are outfitting things. And it's a whole community, and different walks of life enjoy it. And so don't let that stop you or make you afraid to do something outside of your comfort zone. RVing is not for everybody, because there are some, like when we first started out, Cedric used to try to talk me into getting a van. He'd be like, let's just get a van, we could go, it'd just be the two of us. And I was like, no. No, I need a little more than a van. I want a bathroom. I want to be able to stretch out. I don't want to feel like I'm homeless living in a car. Then we went and looked at some vans. Oh, they were so nice, but guess what? They're like $100,000, and I'm like, that's not gonna work. We need something else. And that's when we found our travel trailer. And you guys, the first one was like a little small 18-foot shotgun trailer. But once we got in there and we really fixed it up and we painted it, and we bought a couch. We got a couch. A lady gave us a couch, a RV couch. So we got a couch and we put it in there, and I got some sheer drapes to go in front of the front door so we could have the door open but people couldn't look directly in. And I got these beautiful curtains made to go up to the window, and it really just had that warm cozy home feeling. It was home. That was home for us. And then we went to the couple suite that you guys saw, the last camper we had, and it was great. Hi there. It was great, you know. And then we have this one. So one more step, and I believe we're good. You know, just the one. And the only reason why is because our kids are grown and they're traveling more and they're coming out. And wherever we are, they show up. Like our oldest son is getting ready to have a baby in March. Well, babies do 1st of April, but I know that baby's coming in March. Um, and so they're like they want to spend a month out wherever we are. I want my little grandbaby to be where we are. You know, I want them to be able to come out whenever they want and spend some time with us and have some place to stay and be able to relax and hang out and sightsee and all that good stuff. Right now we can't offer that to anybody. You know, it is all we could do to not trip over each other. So I'm gonna do a day in the life video of storage. I'm going to show y'all just how much storage we have, which is close to none. And my clothes, oh my goodness. It is a shameful sight. Even when I fold that stuff up, it still does not fit in that closet. But I'll do a video and kind of just show you what I'm talking about. But it is. And let me tell you, we were on our way to Wyoming and there was like this babbling brook right next to the road and we had the windows down because it was really a nice crisp breeze, right? And I was like, honey, I hear some water, right? And he's like, where? I'm like, over here. So we pull over to the side and we get out and we're just standing there and it's just this water just running down, just you don't even know what's feeding it, right? It's just water just shooting through. And it was the most calming thing. It was like one of those moments where you were like, I could sit here. You know, I could just pull my chair out and sit here and relax. We were going nowhere fast. We had chairs. It was one of those things where you really feel the freedom of it. Like, I don't have to be anywhere. I have the house with me. If we want to sit here for a little bit, we can. It was just different. It was just very different. It wasn't for the first time. It was like we're not on vacation, because vacation was like, okay, you guys see it, take your pictures, get in the car, let's go. We got reservations, we got tickets, we got to be this place, we got to be that place. Okay, get up, we got to make it to the park, we got to cram all this stuff in this one day because we're leaving tomorrow. And it was like none of that, none of that. If it wasn't for the financial part, like not even you don't even need a lot. You just need enough, if that makes sense. Like enough gas money, enough food to, money to keep food, and enough to have propane. You don't really need a plethora of money, right? You don't need a whole lot. You just need just enough to keep you going because your happiness is taking a bike trail, right? It's taking the bikes out, going for a ride. It's the walk on the beach at sunset where you're sitting in your chairs and you have a fire pit on the beach and you're just enjoying the sunset. It's evenings like now when you got your feet up and you're relaxing and it's quiet and you're just enjoying nothing. It's being out in the desert, right? When you're looking up at the night sky. I miss my camera so much. I miss it so, so much. Because that was like therapy for me. But it's being out in the desert and looking up and seeing the Milky Way and taking pictures of the Milky Way and pointing at the stars like the Big Dipper and things like that. I love it, Diamond. I do. I don't envy people who are still having to be up at 5, 6 on their way to work, to a job they don't enjoy, to a house they really can't afford, you know, struggling to make ends meet. I'm struggling, but I'm struggling in a way that nobody's gonna come get the house, right? And it's like if I could just figure it out and work it out, get to the next job, get to, whatever. And sometimes you guys are amazing. I have gone to bed at night, woke up in the morning, and somebody has sent me a Venmo, or sent me something in PayPal and wasn't expecting it. And it was like right on time. It was just what we needed to do something. And so the Lord does show up and he blesses. And so I've learned. I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning. I'm still getting it. And I enjoy coming on here and just kind of sharing with you guys the my truth of RV life, because there's a lot of RVers on here who are doing some spectacular things, and they got beautiful homes and they can afford it. They got new trucks and they're constantly moving and they're always doing this daredevil stuff, and that's one side of it, right? And that's the side they choose to show you. But here, I've gotten to a point in my life where I am literally looking for Erica. I am finding who I am at 48. Guys, I will be 49 in a couple months. I am knocking on 50, right? And so it has been a real journey on figuring out who I am at this point in my life. How can I be a blessing to anybody I come in contact with? I can always stand to be a better wife. Who couldn't? How can I show more love? How can I do something to help somebody else? How can I work better on my mental health, and not let things get to me to the point to where I'm crashing out, right? How can I figure things out? And so the journey teaches you about yourself. It teaches you the things you didn't know you like, the things you've decided not to tolerate anymore, the ways that you can love people differently, the ways you can bless folks when you have the opportunity, and all of that. And the bonus is you still get a chance to see a beautiful sunset. You still get to, go to different places and see the beauty of nature all around you and just slow down and enjoy it without feeling the hustle and bustle of the pressure of life. And then knowing that the Lord has your back, regardless of where you are, regardless of what you're doing, as long as you are faithful to Him and you are allowing Him to be the Lord of your life, you're in good hands. And so that is what Finding Erica is about. And so I'm excited to do these day in a life type things, but I feel like my life is so boring. Because you look at other YouTubers and they just come with me while we do this and while we do that, and I'm like, come with me while I work to try to get gas money. And it's but to each his own, right? You just trying to figure it out. And so I think that's where I am at this stage. I'm just trying to figure it out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of the well wishes, you guys. I really appreciate that. It warms my heart to read words of encouragement. I hope you guys will subscribe and just be a part of my journey. I'm just a girl with a sweet husband that tries to love her the best he knows how, even though she can be a bit much. And I pray that these videos, will not just be entertaining, but will be helpful, and that you'll find a safe space here with me. And sometimes you get people in here that don't mean well, but that's just life in general. You'll always have somebody around that don't mean well. But we're going to do the best we can to keep this a safe space. So I want to thank you, whoever's here, for hanging out with me this long and being a part of this live this evening. Whatever we're doing this weekend, I'm going to try to get some footage done and bring you guys some new stuff next week. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. So if anything I put out, you'll be able to know first. And I just want to firsthand say thank you so much for all your love and your support. And check out my website. It has my blog post stuff on there. It has a lot of different things about me and stuff that you might be curious about. It's in my bio, so you can go to the main page and just click on it. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next video because you never know where I might end up. You don't know what we're going to be doing. But if you subscribe, at least you'll get the notification that we're doing it. All right, you guys, have a great night.